government to tell these companies, knock it off. You're not going to phase out AM radio from cars. It is foundational, and we're going to be in that battle. I want to make sure our audience is aware of it. Okay, back in free and fair Florida, I'm so grateful. We can feel it, and again, great job with Chris Cuomo. Where are you guys vacationing together this weekend?
We've got a B&B.
You have Easter plans? You have Easter brunch with Chris and his family?
On Cape Cod.
Man, that guy loves you. Holy cow.
They keep calling, I keep showing up.
Why not? Hey, but pull a van in your driveway and you get to look like you're in a big studio. Very impressive.
Download the podcast and hear all of Mike and Mark's conversations at MikeOnline.com for the M&M experience.
Always enjoy the M&M experience. Hope you do too. Thanks very much for joining us. Have a great day. Be safe and keep fighting the good fight. I'm Mike Gallagher. God bless America. Share a little secret with you about Relief Factor. That 1995 quick start that I tell you about all the time, where you can take this pain relief product for 3 weeks for $19.95, take it out for a test drive and see if it works for you or not. They lose money on that deal. But you know where they are successful? Over 70% of people who try the 3-week quick start order it again. You know why? Because it works. Relief Factor, an amazing product. It's so successful in lowering or eliminating pain. A 100% drug-free path. Try it for 3 weeks. It's made from wild-caught fish oil and botanicals. It goes to work on the inflammation that causes lower back pain, hip pain, knee, neck pain. Give it a try. ReliefFactor.com. Relief Factor. Call 800-500-8384. 800-500-8384. In just no time at all, you're going to find out why all of us here at Team Gallagher love Relief Factor.
Hi, this is Jason Hansen. I'm a former CIA officer and best-selling author on safety and preparedness. The fact is, things are getting downright scary for everyone who's storing their wealth in the banks. We just saw the collapse of 3 major banks, and I would urge you to consider protecting your wealth ASAP. If even a tiny percentage of Americans attempt to withdraw their savings, we would see a collapse of the entire banking system, sending us into a modern-day Great Depression. Fortunately, there is a way for you to avoid this. It starts with contacting Advantage Gold. If you have an IRA or 401k, Advantage Gold can help convert those paper assets into physical gold and silver. This is the process that I recommend everybody use as a hedge against rapid inflation and to protect your retirement wealth from the banks. Take control of your financial safety today. Call 800-900-8000 to get your free gold investment kit from Advantage Gold. Call 800-900-8000. That's 800-900-8000.
Advantage Gold is not an investment advisor or a tax advisor. Consult with your financial advisor before investing.
Call 800-900-8000.
Mike Gallagher.
If you're with Verizon, AT&T, or tune in Saturday night for a unique 1-hour talk show covering today's top financial and investment topics. It's the best of investing with host Edward Brown. Each week, Edward and his special guests break down a variety of contemporary business and financial topics for you. Get the news behind the news as they bring some common sense to today's often confusing headlines. The best of investing with Edward Brown. Saturdays at 8 p.m. on 860 a.m. The Answer.
Want to be as healthy and happy as you can be in 2023? Tune into the healthiest hour on radio. Hi, it's the Snowman inviting you to join us this Saturday morning for a stellar lineup of guests and information to help you get into the best shape of your life while increasing your energy and losing a few pounds in the process. Make those New Year's resolutions stick by sticking with us all year long to keep your mind and body healthy and strong. It's Stephen Snow on Dr. Health Radio this Saturday morning at 9 here on 860 a.m. The Answer.
Now, more than ever, you need information here when you need it. 860 a.m. The Answer. San Francisco. Streaming now on smart speakers and the Odyssey app service of Salem Media Group.
Breaking news this hour from townhall.com. I'm John Scott. After returning from New York, former President Trump spoke at Mar-a-Lago on Tuesday night. His first remarks after pleading not guilty to 34 felony counts of falsifying business records in connection with concealing hush money payments. Mr. Trump, while laying out his case, also sounding like candidate Trump.
Even people that Our big fans have said it. They said this is not the right thing to do. It's an insult to our country as the world is already laughing at us for so many other reasons, like our open borders, our incompetent withdrawal from Afghanistan, the most embarrassing time in our country's history, in my opinion.
He had entered a not guilty plea before Judge Juan Merchant during the preceding Tuesday afternoon in Lower Manhattan, becoming the first former president to be arraigned on criminal charges. Also at townhall.com, the threat of severe thunderstorms lingers in parts of the Midwest and South where residents have been warned to take shelter overnight. Jennifer King reports.
A line of unsettled spring weather with high winds and large hail, followed by a cold front swept from northeastern Texas to Illinois. There were reports of damage in Pleasantville, Iowa. Adrian Stammer Fuentes, a meteorology student at Iowa State University, captured the rope-like tornado touching down. Some areas are still recovering from last weekend's deadly storms.
Initially, it was really a gut punch.
Scott Hawes is the executive director of Iowa Valley Habitat for Humanity. He spoke with KCRG-TV about their warehouse in Iowa City, which was a total loss after storms that swept through on Friday.
This is April in Iowa, and there's a chance for more severe weather soon, so we definitely want to get this taken care of.
I'm Jennifer King.
The Dow hit 64 points, the NASDAQ down 160. More of these stories at townhall.com.
Tens of thousands affected by the toxic water at Camp Lejeune are left with debt, dementia, birth defects, and other serious illnesses. And along with the harm, so many worries.
My family drank the Camp Lejeune water. What if our health gets worse and we need more financial help? How do I protect my VA benefits and get the compensation I deserve and need?
The answer is simple. Call James Harris Law, the experienced, trusted law firm that can get you significant compensation while protecting all your VA benefits. We're already fighting for hundreds of Marines, families, and civilians who drank Camp Lejeune water. But if you miss the deadline, you could forever lose your right to the justice you deserve. So call our Camp Lejeune legal helpline now. Now may be your last chance to receive full compensation. Don't delay. Call 800-320-7171. 800-320-7171. 800-320-7171.
Ukraine's Zelensky visits Poland to thank his ally and meet Ukrainians who have sought refuge there.
Volodymyr Zelensky is in Warsaw for a visit meant to thank a key ally and meet with some of his own people who found refuge in the neighboring nation. Zelensky's visit comes at a time of rising anger among Polish farmers who say that Ukrainian grain that has entered Poland has created a glut and caused prices to fall. Zelensky is to be welcomed by Poland's President and Prime Minister. Warsaw has been a key ally for Ukraine since Russia's full-scale invasion last year, welcoming refugees and becoming a hub for humanitarian aid and weapons to transit into Ukraine. I'm Charles Silvester.
German Chancellor Olaf Scholz, spokesman, has defended Berlin's record on delivering arms to Ukraine after the Vice Chancellor said he was deeply ashamed that it took Germany so long to shift its position. Breaking news and analysis at townhall.com. A former aide to Florida Governor Ron DeSantis running for the U.S. Senate in Virginia. Bob Acton.
Scott Parkinson is hoping to flip the seat of Democrat Tim Kaine to the GOP. He blames Senator Kaine, the Democrat Party, and President Biden for a host of problems and complains in a campaign video that over the past 3 years, quote, inflation has skyrocketed, parents have been locked out of classrooms, and crime rates remain at record highs. Kaine announced in January he'll run for a third term next year. Given the recent election of Republican Glenn Youngkin as governor, the GOP sees Kaine's seat as one that could switch from in 2024. All right, your report.
An electric Ram pickup truck with up to 500 miles of range per charge among the new vehicles being introduced at the New York International Auto Show. The pickup can tow up to 14,000 pounds, carrying 2,700 pounds in its 654 horsepower truck. It can also travel from 0 to 60 in 4.4 seconds. More of these stories at townhall.com. I'm John Scott.
Drowning in IRS debt? If you can't afford to pay your IRS debt due to economic hardship, you can now be free of IRS collection efforts. Hardship Program. This program allows Americans who owe the IRS to resolve their delinquent tax debt once and for all. In some cases, maybe even reducing what you owe significantly. An open phone line has been established by Community Tax for consumers to call and see if they qualify. Simply dial 800-500-5588 if you owe back taxes to the IRS and cannot afford to pay them back or have years of unfiled tax returns. Help is standing by. Just call the Community Tax Helpline today at 800-500-5588 for the help that you need. Don't take on the IRS alone. They can attack your wages, savings, pension, home, and even your Social Security check. Call 800-500-5588 to see if you qualify. That's 800-500-5588.
Streaming at 860amtheanswer.com. Our mobile app, iHeart, TuneIn, and the Odyssey app. If you can't find us wherever you go, you're just not trying.
Good to be with you. Holy weekend for Jews and Christians. The great lack of young Americans' lives is religion. It is the direct cause, not only cause, but direct cause of all the depression, lost sense of identity as a person. They now have identity as a gender or a race. You realize how we have declined, or a Christian, you identify as a male. Wow, that's big. That is big. Passover or Easter, that the importance of having something else in life than the political and the social is life-saving. Tonight is the Seder, the oldest ongoing ritual probably, I assume, on Earth. What could be older? Maybe there's a Hindu ritual that's older. I don't want to be completely precise, but I don't know of one. And it is to survive outside of your homeland. The most important, well, not the most important, there are many important aspects of these charges against Donald Trump, this unprecedented arresting of an ex-president and the leader of the opposition in the United States. The president of El Salvador spoke about this. Did you hear about that? I heard it on Tucker Carlson. President of El Salvador said that this was reminiscent of what happened in his part of the world with dictatorships. It is a very, I want to get the full statement of the president of El Salvador. And he said, America can no longer preach democracy in the world. And he's very sad about it. It wasn't an anti-American statement. So I said, all those of you who say, well, the Ukrainian government is corrupt, so we can't aid it. Well, the American government is corrupt. Do you think the American government, under the Democrats, under the left, is less corrupt than the Ukrainian government? I don't. And this is a perfect example. 34 counts with no crime. What is the crime? You can't identify it. Try to say it to me. And it's, by the way, 34 counts repeated, basically, the one count, whatever it is. It becomes a felony, and a very low-grade felony at that, not worthy of disrupting the American political system and government, was that there was a cover-up for an underlying crime. But Bragg, who is a combination of a fool and a bad human being, is a refuses to say what is that underlying crime. If judges in New York City were actually judges who ruled according to the rule of law, this case would simply be thrown out. But here is my take on this. This is a great test, like the Russian collusion hoax. This is the indictment hoax. And it will be a great test of the commitment to truth, honor, and decency on the part of every liberal. The left is lost, but every liberal, all right, if you will, left as well, columnist, pundit, newspaper, site on the internet site. It is the test. Has the Washington Post come out in support of the of this indictment? I know the New York Times did. As I said yesterday, I got a kick out of this. They say to those of us who oppose the indictment from the beginning, and you're opposing it, well, they hadn't even seen it, and they supported it. Lack of self-awareness is one of the distinguishing traits of the left. There is a part of me that thinks that what they're really aiming to do is have Donald Trump as the nominee. I think some of them think that he would be easier to defeat than some of the other candidates. I have no proof. There is no way to prove it, but they are ensuring, at least as it stands now, that he will be the nominee. The enemy is my friend, would prevail here for people not necessarily think of Donald Trump as an enemy, but simply who didn't support him, but who understands that the left is destroying this country on a daily basis, and they will thereby support Donald Trump. Very sad day. I recorded my fireside chat for PragerU yesterday, 283rd in a row, I believe. Did them all during the lockdowns and COVID. Didn't miss a week. I missed 1 week in 283. I would have done it, but I had COVID, and we didn't think it was fair to the young people who come over to video me to have them exposed to my COVID. Although they probably would have gone, but PragerU didn't want to risk it, and I totally understood that. But I couldn't care less for me, and frankly, I would have said, you choose. I don't think it posed a danger to any healthy young person, period, end of issue. It was very difficult for me to do my fireside chat because I speak mostly to young people, hundreds of thousands of them every week. And I don't want in any way to depress them. A big part of my message to young people is don't walk around depressed. But what am I going to say? We have crossed, as everybody uses the Roman Empire phrase, we have crossed the Rubicon. And I'm sorry to say this, but I do believe that this is something that Republicans should engage in. I know people say, well, we should take the honorable route. Why is it not honorable to indict Democrats who have committed real crimes? I would not have done that, and I never supported it until now. But if you don't threaten people with what they have done, why will they stop? Until it becomes a farce, until we become from what are called banana republics, basically the Central European dictatorships that existed for much of Central American history. I gotta get you the line of the El Salvadorian president. It could make you cry. It's hard to say how can we preach any values any longer when we don't practice them. Because the left everywhere is a totalitarian force. Times have a headline today? I mean, not headline. Does it have an editorial?